I have participated and made some difficult and sometimes decisions that people weren't always enjoyed, if you will. And I'll kind of talk about a couple of those. Inside the Adult Detention Center, in 2007, we had some significant litigation. And what I learned as my role as sheriff when I took office, we had some significant potential for paying out some settlements in big, large figures, if you will. And I was told by administration at the time, as well as our county attorney's office, that we were looking at settling in the neighborhood of about $750,000 for a suit in regards to a person that took his life. And the reason for that settlement was that at the time we did not do well-being checks at the time it was supposed to be done. They were supposed to be done every 30 minutes. And there was, I think, about a 2-hour gap when they were last done before this individual had taken his life. And I just didn't want to repeat that. I think there was a great opportunity for us, again, to say, let's learn from mistakes that were made in the past. Let's try to do something about those so they don't get repeated. I took a pretty hard stand in regards to that, and I think that was seen as negative. And if I could do that again, I perhaps would have taken a little bit less strict, not on the standard, but I was a pretty tough disciplinarian at the time. And I think that's one of those areas where if you want to put a whole bunch of people together and feel like, hey, you're a tough guy and you've just come into the organization and haven't really built some of the strong relationships. And again, because I was gone, I think those two things worked perhaps against me. In addition, Andy, I had a platform item or a couple platform items when I was elected. I wanted to put random drug testing in place, and I also wanted to put physical fitness in place for our officers. And to some degree, I think both of those had a little bit of negative connotation. Potentially people thought that, well, the sheriff is saying that we're out of shape and that we have a drug problem, and that really wasn't my intention, but really was to make sure that we're trying to do something to provide the best services we could to our community. And again, from a random drug testing perspective, I shared this in the newspaper as well, but the general population, there's a percentage of the general population that has a chemical dependency problem. And I know that we're a microcosm of that, and I just said, hey, if we can avoid a potential problem, I want to do that. And so those things were a bit of, I think, potential while you don't want to have some division, but I think those were things that came at a time where people thought, hey, this is a person that hasn't really built some of the strong relationships that he had before he implemented some pretty tough changes. And I think, lastly, Andy, change is hard.